When I first arrived in Willow Creek, the air smelled like rain and pine, and the whole town seemed to breathe in rhythm with the wind. It was small, the kind of place where everyone knows your name, your grandmother's name, and what you bought at the general store last week. I came here to start over, to find a little peace, maybe some quiet. What I didn't expect was to rent a cottage right across the street from an old church that everyone pretended not to notice. It was beautiful in a haunting sort of way, tall white spire, ivy climbing the brick walls, and at the very top, a bell tower with a cracked bronze bell that hadn't rung in years. Or at least, that's what they told me. The first week was uneventful, just me, my boxers, and the occasional thunderstorm rolling through the valley. But on the 7th night, the wind changed. I woke up to the faint sound of a bell ringing in the distance. 1, then 2, then 3 slow chimes. I sat up in bed, confused. It couldn't be the church. The bell rope had been cut decades ago, according to the locals. Still, the sound was clear, deep, and echoing. I told myself it was probably the storm, or maybe a dream. But the next morning, when I walked into town for coffee, people were whispering. Did you hear it? The bell. Old Mr. Harlow swore he hadn't heard that sound since his wife passed away. Mrs. Finch crossed herself and muttered something about the keeper's ghost. When I asked who that was, she just said, "Best you not go asking after the dead, dear." Of course, that only made me want to know more. That evening, curiosity won. I grabbed a flashlight and walked to the church. The doors were locked, but the side gate to the bell tower had been left open, as if waiting for me. Inside, it smelled like rain and candle wax. The air was heavy, and the steps creaked under my feet as I climbed the spiral staircase. The higher I went, the colder it got. When I reached the top, the bell hung still, massive and silent, covered in dust. I ran my fingers across its edge. And that's when I noticed it, a faint handprint. Small, delicate, pressed into the grime. And just below it, carved into the wooden frame, were the words, "She rings for the lost." I turned, half expecting someone to be there, but the tower was empty. Only the wind whistling through the cracks and the faint hum of something unseen. That night, I dreamed of the bell ringing again, soft at first, then louder, until it echoed through my chest. When I woke, my windows were fogged, and on the glass, someone had drawn a small heart. The next morning, I told Mrs. Finch what I'd seen. She nodded slowly. She was the bellkeeper's daughter, she said. Die waiting for her love to return from the war. They say she still rings the bell for those who are lonely, so they'll know they're not alone. I never heard the bell again after that night. But sometimes, when the fog rolls in from the hills, I'll swear, I feel a gentle hum in the air, soft and distant, like a promise that someone's still listening.